In the late 19th century, a young English solicitor named Jonathan Harker traveled to the remote regions of Transylvania. He was sent to finalize a real estate deal with a nobleman, Count Dracula, who wished to move to England. Harker was welcomed to Dracula's eerie, ancient castle with unsettling politeness. The Count was tall and pale, with sharp features and an unnerving presence. While initially impressed by his host's manners, Jonathan soon realized that something was deeply wrong. The castle was filled with strange noises, no mirrors were allowed, and the Count never ate or drank in Harker's presence. One night, Harker discovered the horrifying truth: Count Dracula was no ordinary man, but a vampire who fed on human blood. Trapped in the castle, Harker's life hung by a thread. He plotted his escape as the Count prepared to sail for England, carrying his deadly curse to new victims. In England, Lucy Westenra, a young woman known for her beauty and charm, began to suffer from a mysterious illness. Her best friend, Mina Murray, Jonathan's fiancée, grew increasingly worried. Lucy's health deteriorated rapidly, and she was found sleepwalking at night with 2 strange puncture marks on her neck. Dr. Seward, one of Lucy's suitors and a physician, called for help from his mentor, Professor Abraham Van Helsing. Van Helsing, a scholar of the supernatural, quickly suspected the truth: Lucy was being preyed upon by a vampire. Despite their efforts to protect her with garlic and holy relics, Lucy succumbed to the vampire's curse and became one of the undead. The group, including Mina, Van Helsing, Dr. Seward, and Lucy's fiancé, Arthur Holmwood, resolved to destroy the vampire and save Lucy's soul. They tracked her to her grave and, with heavy hearts, ended her unholy existence. As the group mourned Lucy, Mina received news that Jonathan had escaped Dracula's castle and was recovering in a convent. They reunited and married, but the shadow of the vampire loomed over them. Dracula arrived in England, targeting Mina as his next victim. Through a series of sinister encounters, he began to enslave her mind, forming a psychic link between them. Van Helsing and the others used this link to track the Count, who was determined to spread his curse across England. A deadly chase ensued, leading the group to discover Dracula's lair. Armed with stakes, crosses, and holy water, they destroyed many of his resting places, but Dracula fled back to Transylvania to regain his strength. The group pursued Dracula across Europe, determined to end his reign of terror. Mina, despite her connection to the Count, used her psychic link to guide them. They finally confronted Dracula at his castle just before sunset. In a fierce battle, Jonathan Harker and Quincy Morris, a Texan ally, overpowered the vampire. Quincy, gravely wounded, delivered the final blow, driving a knife into Dracula's heart. The Count turned to dust, his curse lifted at last. Mina was freed, and the group returned to England, forever changed by their ordeal. With Dracula destroyed, peace returned to their lives. Mina and Jonathan went on to have a child, naming him after their fallen friend. Though the scars of their battle remained, they found solace in knowing they had defeated one of the greatest evils the world had ever known.